It started subtly, like most things that eventually unravel your life. Sarah, my wife of 8 years, had always been interested in wellness. Yoga, meditation, organic eating, the whole 9 yards. I was supportive, mostly because a happy wife is a happy life, and her kale smoothies weren't killing me, though they came close. About 6 months ago, she started spending more time in the guest house behind our main house. We'd converted it into a yoga studio, art space years ago, thinking it would be a great place for her hobbies. Lately, though, it was off limits. Girl time, she'd say with a breezy wave, or, I'm working on a new program. I didn't pry. I trusted her. Big mistake. The shift happened gradually. First, it was the incense. Strong, earthy smells that permeated the entire property. Then, it was the chanting. Low, rhythmic humming that vibrated through the walls, especially at night. I asked her about it once. Oh, it's just some new sound healing techniques I'm experimenting with, she said, dismissing my concerns with a kiss. Then came the women. A steady stream of them, all looking serene. Too serene. They'd arrive in SUVs loaded with yoga mats and crystals, whispering to each other like they shared a secret language. They wore flowing white dresses and these weird, handcrafted necklaces with symbols I couldn't quite decipher. Sarah started referring to them as her clients, and the guest house as her wellness retreat. I'm a software engineer. I deal in logic, in ones and zeros, in things that make sense. This whole wellness retreat thing reeked of new age nonsense, but I figured it was harmless. Sarah was happy, the bills were paid, and as long as I didn't have to drink any more green juice, I was good. Then, our bank account started to look a little anemic. Nothing alarming at first, just small withdrawals. I brushed it off as Sarah upgrading her yoga equipment or buying more organic kale. But the withdrawals became more frequent and the amounts larger. When I delicately brought it up, she got defensive. It's an investment in my business, Mark. Don't you trust me? That stung. Of course, I trusted her. I just wanted to know where our money was going. But I let it drop. I'm not the confrontational type. I should have been. Last week, I had to work late. A critical bug had surfaced in our flagship program, and I was pulling an all-nighter trying to fix it. Around 3 a.m., fueled by caffeine and desperation, I decided to take a break. I stepped outside for some fresh air, and that's when I saw it. The guest house was lit up like a Christmas tree. The chanting was louder than ever, punctuated by strange whoops and cries. Curiosity, and a healthy dose of suspicion, got the better of me. I crept around to the back of the guest house, where a small, frosted window provided a sliver of a view. What I saw inside will haunt me forever. Sarah was standing in the center of the room, wearing a long, white robe, her hair flowing down her back. The women were kneeling around her, their eyes closed, their faces illuminated by candlelight. In her hands, Sarah held a chalice. It looked ancient, made of tarnished silver and intricately carved with symbols I vaguely recognized from some forgotten mythology class. She raised the chalice above her head. Sisters, she intoned, her voice amplified by a hidden microphone, tonight, we offer ourselves to the source. Tonight, we embrace the Great Mother. Then, one by one, she started pouring a dark, viscous liquid from the chalice into small cups, which the women eagerly drank. As they drank, they started swaying, their chanting growing more frenzied, their eyes rolling back in their heads. It was unsettling, disturbing, something primal and deeply wrong. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. What was going on? What had Sarah gotten herself into? I backed away slowly, my mind reeling. I couldn't confront her then. Not when she was surrounded by her followers. I needed information. The next day, while Sarah was leading a sunrise meditation, I did some digging. I started with the symbols on the chalice. After hours of searching obscure websites and dusty online archives, I found something. The symbols belonged to a pre-Christian fertility cult, a group that worshipped a goddess of nature and practiced. Let's just say their rituals involved things I definitely didn't want my wife participating in. Then, I looked into the ingredients of the wellness drinks. I managed to swipe a sample from the trash, disguised as an innocent coffee cup. I took it to a friend who works as a forensic chemist. The results came back yesterday. The drink contained a cocktail of herbs and hallucinogens. Not dangerous in small doses, but potent enough to induce a state of heightened suggestibility and euphoria. Sarah was drugging these women and leading them in some kind of bizarre ritualistic worship. I was furious, betrayed, terrified. My wife, the woman I loved, was running a goddamn cult in our backyard. I confronted her last night. I laid out all my evidence, the symbols, the drug analysis, the inconsistencies in her financial records. She denied it at first, of course. You don't understand, Mark. This is about empowerment, about healing, about connecting with the divine feminine. But as I pressed her, as I showed her the sheer volume of evidence I had compiled, her facade crumbled. She started crying. It started so innocently, she sobbed. I just wanted to help these women feel better about themselves. But then, it started to feel like something more. Like I was special. Like I was leading them to something important. She explained that a spiritual guide had contacted her online, someone who claimed to be a descendant of the ancient cult. This guide had provided her with the rituals, the symbols, the sacred ingredients. He had convinced her that she was chosen, that she was destined to lead these women to enlightenment. The money, she admitted, was being funneled to this guide as donations to support the sacred work. I told her it was over. That I couldn't be married to someone who was manipulating and drugging other women, who was falling for some online scam artist. I told her she needed to get help. She begged me to understand, to join her, to ascend with her. I just stared at her, a mix of disbelief and disgust churning in my stomach. I've asked her to leave. She's refusing, claiming that the house is her sanctuary, and that the sisters need her. I've contacted a lawyer. I've alerted the authorities, though I'm not sure how much they can do. It's a delicate situation. I don't want to be responsible for harming anyone, but I also can't let her continue this charade. I don't know what the future holds. Divorce is inevitable. The thought of the legal battles, the social fallout, the sheer embarrassment of it all, it's overwhelming. But the worst part is the feeling of betrayal. The woman I thought I knew, the woman I loved, has been replaced by someone I don't recognize, someone who has fallen prey to delusion and manipulation. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. I need to figure out how to protect those women, to expose this spiritual guide, and to somehow salvage what's left of my life. I just hope I can do it before things get even crazier.